back, everybody, to Beyond the Play, where this is a PlayStation podcast where me and my great friend Keenan decide to go beyond the play and discuss PlayStation in such a passionate way. And we're filming today on May the 4th, man. It's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, man. You're a Star Wars fan. I'm a Star Wars fan. I love the social that you made for us talking about our favorite Star Wars games. Yeah, it was perfect, dude. It was perfect.
Happy to hear that nobody really made any pushback on our picks, which I think both of our top fives were great, by the way. So no need to go at us on the internet because of that.
Yeah, right. I did want to ask you, Battlefront. Which Battlefront did you mean?
Oh no, the most recent, the
recent one.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, it's awesome. It's
I'm hopping on it after this podcast. Like, I'm going back into it.
I still play it here and there, man. I remember last May the 4th, me and my wife playing it till like midnight. I know a lot of people gave that game hate personally, but I don't know, man. I thought that game was awesome in so many different departments. Like, it just nailed exactly what I wanted, especially once they fixed everything. So,
oh yeah.
I hope eventually they'll go back to it. But, on today's episode, we're going to be diving into a lot of different big news topics. But the main topic that we're going to talk about is, like, PlayStation games that need a comeback. Like, that top 5 that we and him are basically really needing to. As a PS3, like, diehard fan, I got some fun ones. I'm sure Keenan will have some fun ones, too. But with every podcast, we like to dive in and talk about some fun icebreakers. So, I have an icebreaker for you. Who is the PlayStation icon right now, man?
Right now, as of this moment?
Yes. Like, when you think of PlayStation, like, obviously Xbox I still think is, like, Master Chief. Nintendo is Mario. Who is PlayStation's?
Okay, so if we're just going by character...
Yeah.
Ah, God, that is so tough.
It's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah, It's really tough, especially coming off this generation, the PS5. I feel like PS4 would have been a little bit easier to answer that question, because I probably would have went like Ellie or something like that.
Yeah.
Here lately, I don't know. Is it Astrobot? I'm kind of like torn between like Astrobot and God of War. I feel like there's a very bright future for Astrobot moving forward to kind of be like the face of PlayStation. But I think honestly, when I think of like the face of a system, like I'm thinking of what character is gonna get somebody to buy a PlayStation, or buy a or switch over to PlayStation. And I'm not sure if we can say Spider-Man because he isn't technically like an original IP by PlayStation, so I'd probably lean God of War.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd probably go Kratos.
I mean, that's not a bad choice. You know what's funny? I was trying to do a Mount Rushmore because my wife hates doing the Mount Rushmore trend, like you name 4 things. My wife hates it.
It's just a
Can you do
spoiler alert. The Mount Rushmore idea is actually what my warm-up question was going to be for you today.
Okay, sweet. So that's what we'll talk about next.
Cool.
Okay, so I guess I'll just get into that and I'll answer that if that's cool with you. Do you want to phrase it to me, man? Because we got to make shorts. So phrase it to me. What do you want to throw towards me?
All right, Zach. Your Mount Rushmore of PlayStation characters at the moment. It doesn't have to be historically. Just at the moment. Your Mount Rushmore.
I'm happy you said because historically would be, I think, a little bit easier for me because I think if I went historically it would be like Kratos, but like Kratos back in the day, like that version, Ratchet, Jak and Daxter, and then Crash Bandicoot. Like I think that's just that like iconic phrase right there. For me, in terms of like when it comes down to PlayStation icons, I think as of right now, Astrobot's like right there. You have to have Astrobot. Kratos, the new version, of course. I think I have to go Ellie. Because Ellie is just iconic. And then I'm like looking over at my statues. I'm gonna go Spider-Man. I just think he's the face. Now, don't get me wrong. I think if an Uncharted game was still going, I would easily have to put Nathan Drake on there. And then if Ghost of Yotai, like if that had started Jin instead, may debate on putting him there too. But yeah, I just like when it comes down to popularity, it's that. Or I mean, look at Saros. We'll talk about Saros in a little bit.
Yeah.
But maybe that's a potential pick. What about you? So like if you had Kratos and Astrobot, who would be your other two?
Yeah, it definitely would be Ellie would be the third spot. And then the fourth spot, like can we just put the Insomniac logo up there because they single-handedly have carried this generation of the PS5.
100%.
I mean,
100%.
There's no other studio that I can think of for PlayStation that has put out 3 AAA games this generation. I can't think of any of them right now. Maybe some spin-offs and remasters, but yeah, I definitely like. I would have loved like if Jin or if Atsu had their like 2 games, maybe I'd say okay, we're building something here. But being that those characters each had just standalone games, I wouldn't put either of them up there. So yeah, I think Astrobot you nailed. Because I just see a very bright future with that character, and I think it's going to become really synonymous with the PlayStation logo and brand in the future. So definitely that. And I think Ellie is obviously like, for me, she's probably the main character. She is the main character of that franchise. As much as I love Joel, and then Kratos is an obvious one, and then Spider-Man, I guess. I think would pretty much be in locks up there.
Yeah, no, you nail it. I like you just saying Insomniac because they are. I mean, they're about to put out Wolverine too. Like Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and then my guess is I didn't put it on the news because it kind of went back and forth, but apparently the Venom game is still in development, and that'll just be like PS6, PS5. So like that's another game that's kind of basically just going to end the life cycle of the PS5 and take us into the PS6. So I'm all for that, man. I love your Rushmore. Let's dive into some PlayStation news, though, because I think these are some pretty big things. So first thing that was going around was this DMR issue with PlayStation. Now, I'm not fully versed in this, but I did pull up an article where it says in March 2026, an update for a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 introduced digital rights management. Update requiring digital games to connect online at least once within 30 days of purchase to validate, ensuring a one-time check to change temporary licenses, yada, yada, yada. DRM is not really that new to PC players, personally, and if people don't remember, back when the PS4 and Xbox One were being announced, Xbox One went first and said, we're introducing DRM to even physical games, and it killed the Xbox momentum. Like that was it. I still singly go back to that moment killing the Xbox. And then they backtracked and they didn't end up doing it. But it's funny because I knew someone in the industry at that time, and they told me that PlayStation was going to do the same thing. They were going to do the same thing. Their presentation was the next day, and instead they made a funny thing of saying it's just like, let's just hand the game over. So here's the thing. It sucks as someone who like always thinks of what if the world ended tomorrow and I could play my PlayStation on a generator and there's only certain games I can play on disc. So like these online games I have downloaded, technically after 30 days I wouldn't be able to play. It's frustrating, it's annoying, but that's why we really do need to preserve physical media, not online. And don't get me wrong, I do buy online games quite a bit. I buy them here and there. I just bought one. What did I buy? I'm going to buy a 007 on digital just because it's more convenient for me. But also, I don't know how many of these games actually are on the physical disc, so I don't end up buying them until like maybe a couple life cycles down the road. Like Days Gone, fun fact, if you would have bought it day one and you try to play it, it is on the disc, but it's buggy. But if you buy the newer version of Days Gone on the PS4, like any newer copies, it's fine. It works. So sometimes it is okay to kind of wait. There's times where I've bought a physical and a digital copy because I don't want a digital copy of the game in my collector's edition. Last of Us was one. God of War was one. I just ended up selling my friend the digital copy for like $5 less. I was like, here you go, $5 less. Just buy it from me. I just want the physical copy. So it's things like that. I personally, I get it. It's a security thing. Like everything does it. We just went on a road trip and Paramount, I downloaded a bunch of shows for my son to watch. He watches Little Bear. Well, after you watch the episode, if you're not connected to the internet within 48 hours, which I don't have that iPad on the internet for specific reasons, don't want him to even get into that, just watch that show and that's it. Well, guess what? After 48 hours, when we were driving back, they expired. So we had no Little Bear for the whole 6-hour car ride back, which was a pain. But I understood security measures, things like that. So what's your thoughts to this? I didn't think it was that big of a deal personally, but that's just me.
Yeah. First off, I just have to say, Little Bear is absolutely goated. I still will watch that with my son. So
Same.
great show.
So your son likes it too?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like all
Oh,
the
yes.
classic
I love
like,
it.
Junior shows. And he's really
Yeah.
like a Blue's Clues thing right now too.
Dude, my son won't watch it.
Really?
He'll cry. Dude, Blue
that's
comes
brutal.
on screens, he starts screaming. He's like, no, no.
That's
Put back
devastating.
Little Bear. It's Little Bear, Amazing Spidey and His Amazing Friends,
Okay.
Bear in the Big Blue House, and sometimes Mickey Mouse. But it's like
Mickey
it's
Mouse
very
Clubhouse.
rare. It's very rare.
Yeah, those are all goated. No, okay, so going to this issue, I don't know, like I feel like I just am not super affected by it just because the games that I love and I know I'm gonna want to play no matter what are the games that I'm gonna buy physically. Even if I do buy it digitally, eventually, like if I see a Black Friday sale going on or whatever it is, and I can get the game half off, I'm gonna buy it physically.
Yeah.
Half off. So
Yep.
like, but I totally get people's frustration with this because not everybody has the, ability to buy physical consoles. Usually they're a little bit pricier.
Yep.
My brother, for example, he bought a pretty cheap, like a couple years ago, he got a pretty cheap PlayStation digital or whatever for like $300. And I'm like, of course, he just wants to have a PlayStation to play his games and it's cheaper to buy it that way. So my thing is I'm a huge proponent of physical as well. Both of us were like movie collectors.
Yeah.
You have a crap ton of physical media, like
I have
way
tons,
more than
yeah.
I do. But like, I like
I
to
want to
have the
downsize,
physical.
man. I want to downsize. It's a lot.
I have downsized, and
Yeah.
But there are certain games like I have a small stack. You probably can see them back there. Those are like my prized games right there, and like I have a few signed copies. I've been on this whole thing lately about trying to get like game developers to sign my favorite games that I own.
I love that.
Yeah, so like I try my best to get somebody to sign them. Not always so lucky with it, but if you can, I just want to say, if you can own physically, try to do physical media. There was 2 years ago, we got hit by like Hurricane Helene or something like that. We had a generator, but we did not have internet for the longest time. And thankfully, I did have a couple games on physical that I could just pop in and play. But I don't know. I hate seeing this issue constantly come up. I feel like, and everybody's always like, well, that's why you need to get physical. And I don't know. It's a frustrating thing to see. And I feel like it comes up every few years, this same conversation.
100%, man. I just like, and it sucks because like Alan Wake 2, that was a game that only came out digitally at first, and a lot of people were pissed, and then they announced they were going to do a physical edition, which is funny. The physical edition doesn't even actually have the full game on it. Like, it has most of it, but it's missing certain things, which, like, you can play the game, but, like, what if you want to play the add-ons? It's things like that are just, like, crazy to me. And then there's so many games that are online only. Like Diablo 4 is a game, like, I just started playing the add-on right now. It's, like, my go-to game anytime, like, I just want to screw around. And it's been kind of nice, but, like, that's a game I own physically. 4K, why do I own it physically? I don't need to, because it'll never be never be just on there, I will say, though, I really want to own a Concord physical edition. I really want to.
Honestly, good luck, man. Yeah, I feel like those are like really expensive on eBay now, aren't they?
Dude, they're insane. And it was funny because I remember the day it happened.
Yeah.
I was at Walmart and they had them in the case still, and they wouldn't let me buy them.
Wow.
I was like, because they had already turned it off, and I was like, come on. I'm not gonna lie, I tried being a little bit of a Karen. I was like, come on. Like, it's out there. Why is it out? Like, nah, they didn't let me. Walmart's pretty stingy with their dates. I remember Gears of War 4, one of my most anticipated games. I was at Walmart and it was stocked a week early. And I was like, I tried so hard to get the game because they sold it to my friend the night before. He's the one that told me. He's like, hey, go to this Walmart. It's in stock. It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
They let him buy it. He didn't even have to put a stink. They just scanned a different game. They didn't let me. Anyways.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. Moving on to the next news topic, man. Soros has launched, and I know you've never played a house-marked game before. I played Returnal. I absolutely loved it. Never beat it in my life. Probably never will because it's impossible. But Soros, I don't think either of you or me have played it yet, bought it, but the reviews are so good that I will tell you I am going to buy it. I don't
Good.
care how full price. I am going to buy it. The only reason I haven't yet is because still trying to beat Ghost of Yotai. Just beat Mouse PI, really underrated game. Highly recommend that game.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to beat Diablo right now too. And then 007 comes out, which we're going to talk about next. But I'll probably buy it after 007. And Saros will probably be my summer game for a little bit. But yeah, man, the reviews were great. Did it pique your interest to buy it at all? I loved hearing how accessible the game was and the modifiers. That's what sold me on buying the game.
I'm definitely sold on buying it eventually. So much so, I don't think we've talked about it since our last episode, but about 2 nights ago, I actually downloaded Returnal. So I'm about an hour and a half into that game.
Yeah.
I'm getting my butt handed to me like over and over, but
Yeah,
I was just like, let's go ahead, and I'm not even sure if I'll finish that game, just like you. Like, I might just try to dip my feet in it and see if it's something like a style of gaming that I'll enjoy, and then maybe just hop into Sorrows and see what it's like from there. But I'm right there with you. It's kind of like, it's definitely going to be on my backlog. Like, it's something that I'm going to want to play once we kind of probably get through all of these summer games, because there's a pretty great summer lineup.
Yeah, there's a
up.
lot.
So I mean, like, we have Lego Batman coming up, which I'm excited about. And then I know at some point in time, I think Halo is going to come to PlayStation sometime over the summer, which I'm personally excited for, just because I'll play Halo any day of the week. Like, I'm just a huge fan of Halo. So and then eventually we're going to hit Wolverine. So Saros is probably not going to like get on my console until the fall, unfortunately. And then we have GTA coming out.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's why I'm like trying to find it. So I don't know, like, as a personal thing, I don't know if I'm getting Halo. I love Halo, but I'm a little sad that they're not putting multiplayer on the PS5 version. That was kind of the killer for me, because I thought I could get my wife into it, because she likes more competitive stuff than like story. So I don't know if I'm going to get it. I might get it when it's a little bit cheaper, but you are right, man. Like, this summer is stacked, and then of course we go right into like Wolverine, like right around September. But I will tell you, I still think it's going to get pushed back. That's just me. I think
Wolverine's going to get pushed back.
Yeah, I think a lot more games are. I just think if GTA really is coming out, which I assume all these studios mingle and talk with one another, like,
for sure.
I think we won't see marketing for GTA 6 by like June. I think that game's probably moving personally. But if we do, then I think we're gonna start seeing some other games fluctuate and move. Like Fable for Microsoft's supposed to come out in November.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing with that game. I think it's rumored to be December now, but I wouldn't be surprised if they push that. Like, GTA is a juggernaut. Like, there needs to be a 2-month window of everything just clear out. That's why I think, honestly, like, what is Wolverine? September?
Yeah,
is that September?
Midway through September the 15th, I think.
Yeah. I took that whole week off to play that game. So, same in GTA. Good. Like, I use my time off, other than hang out with my family, play video games. So
yeah, absolutely, dude.
So awesome, man. Yeah, Sars. I did want to pick your brain though. You started playing Claire Expedition as well, though.
Oh my God, yes, dude. If you're gonna allow me a second to talk about this game,
yeah, please do.
Okay, first off, I am not a big turn-based game guy. I'm not super into
same. I'm neither,
turns, dude. And like, however, there is this one game that I loved growing up. It was called Lord of the Rings, the Third Age, I think, and it was a turn-based game. And
good game.
Yeah, like PS2 or something like that, or Xbox One or 360, something like that. I did love that, and this Claire Expedition or Expedition 33 definitely reminded me of that game and brought me back to like that nostalgic feeling of playing that Lord of the Rings game. Only this game really captured me in terms of the story. Like, this immediately got my attention, because I was like, first, what the heck is going on here? And then after further research, figured out what the story was about. I won't spoil it, but that is a game that has me hooked, and something that I'm probably going to spend a good amount of time playing. I didn't even know how big it was. Like, I did some research. People said it's like 25-ish hours. I was thinking I was getting myself into like a 10-15 hour game, because it's like an indie studio, right?
Yeah, let me tell you, I put currently 45 hours into the game, and I'm still not even close to beating it.
Really?
So there's 3 acts of the game, just so you know. I'm not going to get into any story details. when you get to the end of Act, so like when I started playing the game, that was my most anticipated game actually last year, by the way. Like that was the game like I had to play, and I didn't even play it till this year. I was just so busy last year that I did not get into it, and I took 3 months to beat it. And the first act, I was like, oh my god, like this opening scene, what is going on, right? Then when I get to the end of the first act, I'm like, oh my god, I get it. I get why everyone loves this game.
Yeah.
Then the end of Act 2 happens, and I'm like, you know that meme where it's just the guy's jaw just keeps getting bigger?
Yeah.
That was me playing the game. Then you get to the end of Act 3, and you're like, shut up. Dude, just so you know, the game eventually goes open world, basically. Like, to a certain degree. Yes. When you beat the game, there are hundreds of things to do.
Okay.
Hundreds. You ever play Kingdom Hearts? I think you played Kingdom Hearts, right? Yeah. You remember the Coliseum? Remember the Coliseum? Like you can keep going back to? They have something like that. That's like rounds and waves and waves and waves. And it is awesome. It is awesome. But that's just one thing. There's so many hidden things. Dude, you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
I can't wait, man.
Like the way it opens up, masterful. Masterful. Literally one of my favorite games of all time.
It's so sick. Like, since becoming a dad, like, I can't stay up past 10 p.m. because I'm, like, dying after that. But I actually did stay up past midnight just because I was so hooked into this game. Like, I was just like, I have to, like, put in some hours. And that's
how I was, man. That's how I was, dude. I was staying up. I told my wife, I was like, hour a day. I have to play this game an hour a day just to get to the ending. And it was a great experience to kind of take my time with that. I loved it. Last bit of PlayStation news, though. 007 previews have come out. Now, while this is not an exclusive game to PlayStation, the reason I wanted to highlight it is because PlayStation has their own exclusive controller that, of course, is golden. I did not pre-order it. My wife really wanted it. I don't even know if it's still in stock. If it is, we'll probably buy it day one. Either way, the previews are out, and they're excellent. One of my good friends, Griffin over at FilmSpeak, actually got to play three and a half hours, he said. And he said it is a dream James Bond game for people. On the side, he was telling me it's like a little bit like Uncharted meets Hitman, but like the Uncharted aspect is like the story's great. It's a little cheesy sometimes, but like that's what you want from James Bond. He's suave. And he said it's just super cool because like in Hitman, you can do so many different things. I've never been a huge Hitman player, to be honest with you guys. But he was telling me something. He's like, if you fail a stealth section, like someone might be like, what are you doing here? And you can use your charm to be like, oh, I'm supposed to be here. The guy went that way. And you can use that. And that's like, I don't know. I just love that. Yeah. And then the gameplay, the action seems awesome. This actually, the previews made me go, I'm pre-ordering this game now. So I don't know about you. Did you get to check out any of the previews at all?
I've just seen like little headlines on Twitter, and that's just about it. But this was already going to be a game that I'm going to play at some point as well. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's going to be.
Are you a James Bond fan?
I mean, like I watch the movies. I won't say I'm like a huge James Bond fan, but like
that's fair.
Okay, answer this question for me. I feel like you know best. The guy who plays James Bond in this game, is it the same guy who plays Dexter in Young Dexter?
Yes, sir, it is.
I was like, God, he reminds me of somebody, which I think that show got canceled or something. I love that show, by the way. Huge Dexter fan here. I appreciate the original show for what it was. I love that show, even with its faults.
Yeah. But I will say this. I even like New Blood. The next sequel one, and then they did, what is it, Original Sin? Yeah. And I didn't watch it at first. I was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And then I watched it because it was finally all out, and I was like, this show is great. And I will tell you this, my wife, who is not a Dexter fan, does not like the original show. She kept watching it with me. I put it on, and it got to the point where she was like, wait, you're watching this without me? I'm like, you don't like Dexter. Why am I going to wait for you? Yeah. So then when the new show came out, she made me catch her all up, like just recap me. Yeah. So then I recapped her, and so Resurrection, she ended up wanting to see every episode. Like I watched an episode, and she found out, and she's like, now you have to watch it again. I'm like, that's so sick, but yeah, man. I am so excited for this guy. Shout out to him. It sucks. I low-key was like a little surprised when they picked him. I thought we were gonna go like maybe Idris Elba, like since he can't be in the movies, maybe just pick a younger version of him.
That would actually be really cool.
But yeah, I'm all for it, man. So yeah, this brings us to our main topic, dude. PlayStation games that need a comeback. Top 5 of them.
Yeah.
These are games that have basically been kind of just tossed to the fire. Maybe like Sony's just kind of sitting on them. Maybe they're stuck on a generation. This was actually really hard for me to nail down a top 5. I will say the only one that is definitively my number 1 is my number 1. Everything else is kind of out of order. It's just like,
yeah, sure.
give or take.
I'm kind of the same way. I just have like 5.
But yeah, what is for you your number 5 though? I want to start with you, man.
All right, we'll start with this one. I'm gonna go with a game that I have like quite a bit of nostalgia with playing with my younger brother, and that's Twisted Metal. I don't know if they've made any new Twisted Metal games recently. All I know is that I have a lot of memories with Twisted Metal. I'm not sure. I guess it would have to be some sort of online multiplayer game. I don't really care. I just like find those games super nostalgic. I know that they made a TV show about it. Didn't watch it. But
it's actually really good. It's really good.
Okay, so
it's really good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you'd probably really
Metal,
like it.
I'm not even sure if it is a PlayStation IP. I just remember playing it on the PlayStation when I was a little kid. Yeah. So, but yeah,
it is. It is an IP. That's a great pick, man. Personally, for me, what's interesting about Twisted Metal is I've actually never been super deep into it, but I love like the lore and like things about it. Like it's one of those games that I wish I've played more of.
Yeah.
But it actually did have a game in development and they canceled it. It was one of the live service games that they canceled. This was one of them. And it was made by the studio that made some car combat game for the PlayStation. It was pretty cool. It was free. I didn't really dive much into it, if I'm being honest. But my number 5, and this one might be like, people might be a little shocked with how low this one is, but my number 5 is Jak and Daxter. So I'm a huge fan of Jak and Daxter. I love the original 3 games. I even like the car combat game, but like Jak 2 for me was like a pinnacle, a changing point in a lot of this like entire ecosphere of like PlayStation. And like the jump from 1 to 2 is like so vast that it's massive. This is a game franchise though that I am shocked they've never remastered or brought back for so many different reasons that these characters are iconic. I think they would sell millions of copies if they remastered it.
Dude.
I think it would do great if they brought back a 4th one. I think this is like one of those wayside ones that people will probably have a little bit higher than mine, but personally for me, this is up my number 5, just because I was a little bit closer to Ratchet and Clank personally, and I have 4 others that I really want to make a comeback.
So that was actually going to be my number 4, so that just is a perfect transition. This is one of those games I constantly see people talking about. Like every time that there is a state of play going on, I see it in the comments all the time. People are like, please bring this game back. And I constantly am hearing people complain about there not being some sort of revival of those characters, because I feel like those are kind of like, I don't know, synonymous with like the original PlayStation, like those early days. And I don't know. It's kind of like I don't want to like hate on PlayStation too much right now. I definitely don't want to do that. But they have, and we're gonna get into it in our list. They have a plethora of characters that are so beloved by this community. It feels like sometimes as if Xbox decided we're just never gonna touch Master Chief again. Like, and that's the thing. I'm like, you have IPs that people already love. Let's utilize it somehow, even if it's a remaster. But
100%. I mean, you're not wrong on that. That's where, it just blows my mind. Like you said, it's like, but it's also like, it's like Nintendo. Like they sit on the Star Fox forever. They sit on, Metroid forever as well. That was another franchise that just kind of sat there. So, jumping into my number 4 now, though, is PlayStation All-Stars, for speaking about, like, collaborative games. I'm not sure if you ever played this game, but I love Smash Brothers, and this was PlayStation's Smash Brothers, the PS3. It was a fantastic game. It had the likes of Ratchet, Jak, Drake. It even had, like, side characters that weren't PlayStation exclusive, like the Big Daddy from BioShock, or Dante, or even Raiden from Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. Like, it was such a cool game. And while it tried to be a little bit different than Smash Brothers, and I think that's what kind of failed, I wish they kind of would have just copied it overall and just did what worked. I think this is one that I'm actually really surprised they've never touched on before, and I actually think would work in a live service thing. In fact, I would say this, and I've said this millions of times. Hear me out. Keenan, I'm about to tell you on a video game. If PlayStation is listening, this is what they need to do, okay? So they want a live service game, right? They want it. Disney's making one with Epic right now. It's supposed to be like a Apex Legends, but with Disney characters, which, trust me, I'll probably be playing that because it kind of sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
Why was Concord not a PlayStation Heroes game? Can you imagine? Let me tell you this. Jak and Daxter on one team, Ratchet and Clank on that team, and then you have the clown Sweet Tooth on the other team. Like, I would play that game. Look at Marvel Rivals. You just copy that format. Yes, it's PlayStation. Dude, it's so cool. It's so good. So that's what I'm saying. I think they need to dive into this. PlayStation All-Stars, I think you can make a really cool thing out of. I would even throw out, I think you could do multiple game modes and go for a really cool thing. Do a Smash Brothers mode. Do a first-person shootings mode. Do something that you consistently add to the game. Like, this could be your live service. I'm not a big fan of live service stuff, don't get me wrong, but like, if you're looking for something that's going to grab people, this would grab me. And look at Fortnite. So many different modes, so many different creative things. The reason it works is because people keep coming back to it because there's always new things.
Yeah.
Right there, then and there. That's your thing. I don't know what we're doing to do this wrong. So that's my pitch. PlayStation, take the idea, please.
Yeah,
you can pay me 5%. 5% on microtransactions, please.
For real. No, absolutely. That sounds incredible to me. I never played All-Stars, but I am heavy into Marvel Rivals right now, and the main reason is because there's so many great Marvel characters that I enjoy. Their like special abilities and like they all bring something cool and unique to the table. Having that with PlayStation characters just sounds incredible to me.
Yeah. No, I love it.
That's brilliant.
What's your number 3, man?
All right, let me get on my soapbox here. Y'all know I love my Marvel games.
Yeah.
You guys know I love my Insomniac games. I want them to make every Marvel game. However, there needs to be some sort of break in between the Marvel games. And with that, I think there needs to be a revival of Resistance. And I think that Insomniac is a phenomenal studio to make to do that for us. And I actually played Resistance 3 for the first time like a year and a half ago. Completely sold on it. And then I see them playing it in their live streams that they do with the community. And I'm like, why has this not been remade? Yes. Like, why has this not been revived? And I think that a studio like Insomniac Games, or heck, even Ben Studios, I'm not sure what they have going on right now, but I think they would be a great option as well. We have to bring back Resistance. I think that the community would be over the moon for this.
I can't speak because this is somewhere on my list.
Okay.
I won't go any further right now. But I'm so happy you mentioned Resistance.
Okay, cool.
So fucking happy. Sorry for the cursing, guys.
No, go for it, man.
Yeah. Okay. My number 3 now is I went back and forth on this one because this one was tough, and I think I don't know if Sly Cooper's on yours. I feel like the fan base is gonna kill us if we don't have Sly Cooper, so I don't have it on mine. But my number 3 is Killzone. If we're gonna speak about like a first-person shooter, I really went back and forth if I wanted to include a racing game like MotorStorm, which I thought was really underrated, and I think they should bring back. But I decided and settled on Killzone because I do think that PlayStation has been looking again for that first-person shooter, that IP. And Killzone Shadowfall was decent for the PS4, but it didn't have that grit. It didn't have that nastiness that 2 and 3 had. And when I go back and play 2 and 3, I played 2 again like maybe a year or 2 back, and I loved the game. I'd never been a huge Killzone guy. In fact, the first Killzone game I ever played was a top-down version of it on the PSP, which was really weird, and it's not that great. I think you can buy it on the PlayStation Store. It's not a great game. But I hated it. And I never wanted to play Killzone, and then I jumped into 2, and I was like, I was wrong. This game is incredible. So I think this is a franchise that needs to come back. I think, again, PlayStation, like, I'm really against remasters and stuff like this, but, like, there's so many games trapped on the PS3 that I would really say, just remaster them. Remaster the original 3 Killzones, remaster Jak and Daxter, remaster a lot of the Ratchet and Clank games like Deadlocked. Absolutely. I would play that. Yeah. But yeah, that's my number 3, man.
So we're on number 2 right now?
Yeah.
All right, mine's going to kind of like go off into a different direction right now. Just because if you guys are just now tuning into the Beyond the Play podcast for the first time, I am more of a new school PlayStation gamer. Even though I do have like some memories of playing PlayStation when I was younger, I don't know every PlayStation game, so I'm going to start by saying that. However, we need to talk about one game that was actually already announced. And in the spirit of May the 4th and Star Wars Day, we need to talk about the return of Knights of the Old Republic. This game was announced.
Yes.
I don't know, 5 years ago? 21.
Yeah, 5 or 4. Yeah. Yeah,
I think
because I remember I watched that state of play at my desk at work.
Okay, yeah, it might be 5 or 4 years ago. We have not heard a lick about this game since then. There have been rumors that it's canceled, but then there's also been reports that the game is still in development. This game needs to come out, or there needs to be some sort of anything regarding this game. And we both, I think, had Knights of the Old Republic on our top 5 list. For our Star Wars
great
post
pick
that we did. So this isn't necessarily a PlayStation IP or anything like that, but they're supposed to be making it. I need to hear something about it. I need this game to come out. That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that and Star Wars Eclipse, the game that was being made by the guys who did Heavy Rain. And it's like Eclipse got announced and nothing. Yeah. And apparently they hadn't even started making the game yet. So like Knights of the Old Republic, I think it will come out, if I'm being honest with you. My guess is to you, though, I think they're going to have it be 1 and 2, like in the same package. Like, I think they're just going to have 1 and 2 in the same package. I think that's the decision on it, just to be safe. And then I think they're going to have a 3 announced pretty quickly after. I think that was the original concept. That's just my personal guess. I don't have any insider knowledge to that, so do not please throw that on the internet. Sometimes I have things that I know and some things I do not, but I will make sure to always say, I heard this is from a source, I'm not, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. But no, that's a great pick, man. I need the remaster now. That trailer hyped me up. I remember shaking at my desk.
It was literally like a 3-second clip, and I was like so excited. And
yeah, I need it. I have a Darth Revan lightsaber on my wall outside of my office.
So sick.
And then I actually have over here, I got these 2 guys. I got Darth, the lightsaber version. I love Revan. I even have another version of him back there somewhere. I don't know. Anyways, we're getting off topic. What are we? Yeah, may the 4th be with us. What are we at? Number 2 now? Yeah, number 2. My number 2 is Infamous. I am a massive fan of the Infamous games and what Sucker Punch had done with this series. In fact, I love every single one of them. And it's funny, when I first played my first Infamous game, it was the free game that I got because the PlayStation Online was down for like almost a couple months.
Yeah.
And I ended up loving the first game. The second game really took me by storm. I love their add-on, the vampires thing. And then Second Son was a phenomenal game. I won't say that it's my favorite, but gameplay-wise, it was easily the best. Okay. Obviously, technically more advanced and things like that, but I love this, and I think Sucker Punch, I know they're doing their Ghost of Yotai, but I really hope they go back to Infamous, or, this is why I look at, like, Blue Point, which I think just got shut down. I'm like, why are you not... You have IP that you could just have them remaster. Look how good. I didn't like Demon Souls. I sucked at it. I was terrible at it. But I cannot deny how beautiful that game was and how great it was for people who were good at it. So, yeah, Infamous is my number 2. I love the series, and I hope we get more of it.
Okay, so Infamous is my number 1. However, I've never played an Infamous game ever. And the only reason I have it on my list is because I've just heard so many great things about it.
Yeah.
I do struggle with going back and playing like old games on old consoles just because I'm so like into what's going on and what's relevant now. That said, I have become a massive Sucker Punch fan because Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei have been 2 of my favorite games to come out in the last 5 years. Like, I am over the moon excited about anything that Sucker Punch has to offer, and because I can combine what I've heard about Infamous and what I've experienced with the Ghost games, I would love for them to revisit that franchise. So I think that ties in nicely.
I'm so happy you said that. So I guess I'll throw it to my number 1 now, man. My number 1 is Resistance. Resistance is my favorite PS3 game of all time. Some of it's a little bit nostalgic because me and my dad used to actually play the split screen of Resistance Fall of Man a ton. Resistance 2 didn't have split screen for the campaign, so we just played the online, and then Resistance 3 came out and we played the split screen again. And like anytime my dad comes over, not gonna lie, sometimes like if we have time, he'll be like, yo, you want to put in Resistance? And I hook the PS3 up and we'll play a little bit of it. But it's for me an incredible game. It's an incredible game. Like every game in that game, and the fact that they put out a trilogy in like the span of like less than 6-7 years is awesome. But it was gritty, it was intense, it was amazing. It was everything that I really wanted the franchise to be, and I really loved how it kind of was their Halo.
Yeah.
I think it's very disappointing that they didn't continue it, and I'm okay with Insomniac not, but I think Sony really messed the ball with not touching more into that. And yeah, I am a huge, massive fan of this, and I am, yeah, I need more of it, man. It literally is the best. It might be like my second favorite PlayStation IP of all time. Like, if I'm not gonna lie, I love Nathan Hale. I love the Chimera.
It just feels
it's
like
amazing.
the most no-brainer decision right now. Like,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, like, I'm really curious to see what they do with the PlayStation 6, because I feel like there was such a massive, and I don't know anything, but it's just speculation. I feel like there was a big pivot at some point during this PS5 generation. Maybe that was with Jim Ryan's departure.
Yeah.
But it definitely felt like at one point in time they were like gonna have a bunch of brand new multiplayer live service games, and because those games no longer exist, we're just filled with a little bit of gaps, and we have some cool games coming out every now and then. But I feel like, you know, if there is some great leadership happening for the next generation, and there is a great plan in place, and Sony kind of sticks to what has worked well for them in the past, there could be a lot to look forward to with the PS6. So hopefully something like that is happening. I'm still looking at Ben Studios. I know they're working on something. I just don't know what it is. Like,
I hope it would be Days Gone too, but it's not. I know.
Yeah,
it's not.
I mean, like, they've all but confirmed that it's not going to be Days Gone again, which is super. I feel like them and Resistance just make sense to me, but I don't know.
I got to be honest with you. I know for a while, because it's been confirmed that someone's working on a new Uncharted game, whether it's a remake, whether it's whatever.
Yeah.
And I think for a while it was rumored Bend was working on it, but it doesn't seem like they are. I think Naughty Dog is. I think Naughty Dog has 3 games currently right now. This is something I've heard and read, and I think other leakers have also involved, is that they have, what is it? They have Last of Us 3, which is like way down the path. Intergalactic, which, probably my most anticipated game of next year, if it's actually coming out next year. I heard it's like, I don't know if you're going to be a fan of it, but I heard it's Souls-like.
I'm down, dude.
Yeah, like I heard he took a lot of inspirations from Elden Ring, but in terms of story, he'll actually tell the story with cutscenes, not just like through lore and dialogue and stuff like that, which very excites me. I hope that's the direction. And then I think the other thing was an Uncharted game, which is interesting to me if that's the truth, and I hope it is, but because I'd like to see them maybe focus on Drake's daughter. I mean, she's right there. Like, but yeah, I mean, what has Ben working on? I would hope it would be Resistance. I think Killzone would be another great pick, because that studio is also off in dinosaur land right now, so they don't care. But yeah, man, no, I love those. I think you had great picks, and we definitely want to make sure to hear your guys's. So make sure to please comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching on Spotify or Apple, I think you can also leave comments. And this is also your reminder to follow us. Please rate us after, and we really do appreciate it. Share it with your best friends. With that said, we have 2 viewer questions to take. Keenan, I'll throw it to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first off, if you guys don't already know and you're listening to the podcast, if you want to submit your questions, I and sometimes Zach will put out an opportunity to submit your questions on social media. So you can follow us on Instagram or Twitter or whatever you'd like to, and you could submit a question to us. So we do have 2 questions. First question we're going to get to is from Joshua, and he asks, would we play any more Ratchet and Clank games? And I think we're both pretty much going to have the same answer here. But go ahead. Tell me what you think.
No, I think they're terrible, and I would never play them again, if I'm being honest with you. Rift Apart was a pile of trash, and I don't need it. No, obviously,
very different answers. No,
no, I would absolutely love Ratchet and Clank. I hope Insomniac's team gets to be a little bit bigger. So, they can work on more than one game at a time, it seems. I mean, we know that they're working on more than one thing at a time, but, like, I would love if they had, like, a pretty big subsection where it's, like, Insomniac Marvel, Insomniac Ratchet and Clank, or whatever else they want to play on. Sunset Overdrive, anyone ever play that game? That game is a masterpiece. You ever play that game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just feels like it, and I think it's cool. I think I would really like a Marvel like division for them, and like specifics. So it's like the Marvel division can handle everything. And come on, PlayStation, I know you got money. If you're giving Kojima all this money to make all of his weird stuff, like you can do the same thing for Insomniac.
Yeah, it's so tough, man, because like I'm a massive fan of Marvel games, and I just want Insomniac to do everything Marvel, but I also want to eat, like, have my cake and eat it too, and like I want them to also make Ratchet and Clank games because I have so much fun with those games. Yep. So it is a tough position to be in. Like I'm not ever going to complain about them making Marvel games. I still hope that they make a Daredevil game one day, but yeah, I would absolutely play a Ratchet and Clank game, and I hope that there is still a future for that franchise. I think there has got to be, but we may not see anything from them in regards to that franchise until like the PS6, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, if all the rumors are true that we're going to get, obviously we're getting Wolverine, if we're going to get a Venom game, if we're going to get a Miles Morales and Silk, if we're going to get a Spider-Man 3, if we're going to get an X-Men game, like, there's a lot going on for Marvel right now with them.
A lot. So,
all right. Next question is, let's pull it up. Mariana asks, or she says, finally got a PS5 after 4 years with no consoles. Any game recommendations? This is a good one.
Congrats. 4 years. Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 if you've never played them.
Okay. Cool.
There's a chance that you've never played 2. So I would highly recommend 2. That's like the number 1 off the back of my head. God of War is, I think, an easy one to recommend. Rift Apart, as we just mentioned. I think, and if I were to throw one more, Astrobot, I think is like pretty definitive one. But what about you? I think some of those might be the same as you too.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we're just sticking to PlayStation, obviously all of those that you picked, I don't even know what would I start with? Like, if I'm into superheroes, I'm going to start with Spider-Man Remastered. If I want a fun time, I'm going to go with Astrobot or Ratchet and Clank. But if I just want the full PlayStation experience, I'm probably going to go with God of War, like, right off the bat.
Yeah.
So that's... Oh, God, there's so many freaking good games. You got Horizon, Uncharted. There's just so many good ones.
I mean, Uncharted's another good one too. I mean, there's a vast amount of ones that you should get, but I would definitely say, like, I think any of those you wouldn't find any problem with getting. And I would be very surprised if you were disappointed. I guess also the Ghost of Yotai, Ghost of Tsushima, like those would be ones I could easily recommend too. So Horizon is fantastic too. Like if you just want like something big, I would say like it really depends on what you want. If you want story, I would say Last of Us or God of War. If you want something that's gonna be like extensive for a long bit of time, probably Horizon.
Yeah.
Horizon might be one of the biggest games I've ever played in my entire life. Yeah. Even bigger than Ghost, which is saying a lot. So I'd probably say Horizon. Ghost is another one. It really just depends your cup of tea. So and whatever your wallet can spend.
Rough for real. What I would do is probably just go ahead and get your PlayStation Plus Premium, whatever it is nowadays, and then just browse the library. There are a ton of good games on there.
You know what? That is actually probably the best decision. I don't have it personally.
Yeah.
But if they were to get it, it's what, like 100 and something for the year.
Yeah. It's like 15 or 16 for a month, and then 100.
Yeah, which is cheaper than buying two games. Like 2 games. So you could do that, play a bunch of exclusives, see what you really like, and then don't do it the next year and just pick the games you want to go going forward.
If you are like a superhero fan, then you can, if you get the PlayStation Plus Premium, I don't know, there's like Plus, Premium, Essential. There's get the highest tier, and you can play all the Spider-Man games right now. Even Spider-Man 2 is on there, so that would cover you for like,
that's awesome.
4 games, 3 games.
Yeah,
so definitely.
I love that. I love it. Well, that's Beyond the Play, a PlayStation podcast. This is the second episode. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Again, my name is Zach. This is Keenan. Keenan, what do you got coming up? I know you have your other channel that you also do. Do you have any Wolverine stuff coming up over there?
Yeah, I'm holding off on Wolverine until probably the end of May. We are probably going to get a PlayStation State of Play at some point during this month. Fingers crossed. And then we have Summer Game Fest that got announced on the first week of June. So those 2 events I'm going to be covering heavily, and from there, it's pretty much all Wolverine and a little bit of Marvel token for me because I'm actually really excited for that game.
Yeah, that game looks awesome.
PlayStation game, by the way. So that's probably what I'm going to be covering for quite some time.
Awesome. Well, I will be over here. Hopefully, I'll have the other gaming podcast moving up soon called Hot My Gaming. I had ideas to make it a little bit bigger than I anticipated. I might scale that back a little bit. And I also might be doing some video essays over here too. But if you guys want to find me, you can also find me over at Zach Pope Reviews, where I review movies, TV, and sometimes talk about games, but more of that gaming stuff starting to come over to this channel if you're watching it up on YouTube. But if you're not, please make sure to follow the Beyond the Play feed. I cannot stress that enough. It really does mean the world to me and Keenan. I had a blast doing this. I hope you did as well. And I hope you guys had fun watching us. So, of course, until next time, guys, keep playing games, keep playing PlayStation games specifically.